Hello and welcome. I am the Soul Enchantress. Today we're discussing how to recognize an unhealed money pattern when it comes to tax time. So this is mainly for those who are running businesses, because that's who my clients are. But even if you don't run a business, you will be able to gain some wisdom from this message. So different countries around the world, because my clients come from many different countries around the world have different financial years. So in other words, some it's the calendar year, January to December, and others it is July to June, others it's April. So it doesn't matter what part of the year your tax year or your financial year starts, and especially related to companies. When it comes to time for lodging your tax, and when it comes time for paying tax, especially when you've made money as a company, it will trigger and it will bring up any unhealed stories that you have about money. So many years ago, when I used to run different businesses, I used to freak out whenever it was time for tax, because I would have to see where the money had gone. Did I have enough money to pay tax? Was I in a position to be able to fund the tax bill? And also I hated dealing with accountants. However, what I've come to realize is in the past few years, when it comes down to tax time, I am overjoyed and I cannot wait. And I love my accountants, and I pay their bills on time and I tell them to get it done. And I even get a check from the government because I pay my tax in advance and on time or pre-time. So, or early bird, or whatever it is that they call it. But the point I wanted to make is, as I was thinking about this and thinking about tax time and thinking about my taxes and how I am so excited for my accountants to do my tax and to see what could be done, but I am always overjoyed when there is a huge bill to pay, because it means that the company is doing amazingly well revenue-wise. So this is what I want you to understand, that if you are having adverse reactions at tax time, it doesn't matter what it is, whether you don't like dealing with accountants, or whether you don't like collating the information, or whether you don't want to pay the bill, or whether you are looking for ways in order to try and get a refund any which way possible, and you're looking for extra expenses and you're trying to minimize your tax. I know a lot of people do this, and kudos to them if that's how you want to live. However, if you are going through any of those emotional and thought processes and actions and feeling that way, or thinking that way, or acting that way, then know that you have unhealed patterns about money. You have unhealed stories about money, and that's what's actually causing it. Because let me tell you, when you heal your stories about money, and when you have a beautiful and loving relationship with money, and an abundant and prosperous and blissful relationship with money, you are going to love your tax time, and you are going to be overjoyed when you get a bill that is so huge, or if a certain year you have a few extra expenses because you've invested so much in marketing for your business that you've created a loss, then you are happy to recoup that loss. You are happy to still pay your accountant's bills on time. So I hope this brings you some clarity in understanding that the way you think and feel and act are actually feeding you information about the unhealed wounds that you may have about money. And so unless you are feeling completely overjoyed about paying tax, about doing your tax, about dealing with accountants, and about the financial numbers of your company and your personal tax, you have unhealed stories and wounds about money, and they need to get cleared up, they need to get healed, they need to be made whole so that you can actually open your arms to prosperity and bliss and complete abundance when it comes to the area of money in your business and in your life. I hope this has blessed you, and as always, I invite you to visit soulenchantress.com and get a copy of my book, and also step into my Sacred Wisdom Library. It will guide you and empower you to clear these stories that you have about money and to actually reprogram yourself so that you will have a more abundant and blissful and joyous financial year next time around. I am the Soul Enchantress, and you can find me at soulenchantress.com. Joyous Blessings.